once again to creativeGrace Design Studio. That is where giving you Xara design tools on graphic design. Let's come on to our Xara software. The other time we did bevel, that is under the bevel tool. There's a bevel tool. How to use bevel on fonts and objects. This is so good to be in tune with design. So this is the basic foundation for the design that we're giving you. So let's go on to the next tool, that is the blend tool. Yeah, this is a blend tool. Basically how we want to, you can use blend tool, you can blend object and to make what multiple shapes. Let's say, let's draw a line. See a line, maybe you want to make what I'm drawing a line by holding my control for a straight line. So maybe you want to make what like lines in what, in a book. Yeah, lines in a book. So you draw your first line, then you duplicate to get what, another line. Okay, so you pick your contour, then you move, you drag to make the other one. Okay, if the spacing in between is okay for you, it's okay, then it's okay. If the spacing is not okay, so check the info bar. The first we have what is the distance, talking about the distance, then we have the number of steps. So I can enter in what 10 steps. 10 steps. So this will be what the size, the size in between my lines. 10 steps. I don't want it, I will can remove it. Yeah, if I just drag to the other one, the other shape, then you get it. Yeah, if you want 20 steps and 14 or 15, here is a 15, and I enter the 15, it will in. That's how we want it will like it gives you. That's the on the blend. Yeah, and you can use what blend and also on color. Let's say you want to get gradient on colors. Let's use this shape, this one, that's a green, and you want a gradient of that green, that shape. You can draw the same or bigger one. Then okay, let's say you want to get a gradient of this one, this color to this color. So which one do you want to choose for? You can grab from this place. So this when you get the gradient. If you're doing color fill, you can get gradient out of this. Okay, so you want 20 steps. Yeah, this one is useful whenever you are doing what, drawing. So let's check this drawing. Look at something. Yeah, let's check this drawing. This drawing right there. When you check this drawing, it means that like the person drew what the shape first. So let's say you want to do a freehand of what they did, the shape here, the shape here, and you drew another shape. Okay, let's say in the shape of the yellow. Let's say fill it with yellow. Okay, then let's say another shape can come, then you can also do. So the other thing is just pick the green tool, then you drag. So you're supposed to drag the green to the yellow. Okay, to give you a control, so you can increase the steps to 20 or 30 steps. Let's say 30 steps. So it will blend with the other color. It's just two shapes that is blended with the other color. This is how basically how you can do, especially for drawing and all that. It's for drawing and all that. You can also create lines to make your work very simple and easy as a contour. So let's go into the profile. As the profile is talking about what the color blend. So that's what the rainbow type and alternate rainbow is the alternate rainbow. So the normal fade is okay. So let's come to the profiles. Use the profiles. Let's check the position profile. When I move it, you see positions of the water we move. Yeah, there's a position profile of the object. Those are two objects that we draw. Position profile. I say it's very good, but it's not all tools that you will even use in Xara. Depending on the work that you will do, it's all good to get to the basics, like then it's not all that you will even use, but just get it in your mind. Yeah, it's also what you do, how to manipulate it, get it. So let's go to the attribute profile. This is the attribute profile. Yeah, attribute profile, talking about what the color intensity of the color shades. Okay, so let's see. Yeah, and the attributes of the color. And also don't forget that you can put these shapes on a curve. Okay, so let's come and draw a curve. Let's say a curve like this one. Curve like this one. So I will select my object, the first one object and my curve together. Then I set my tool, as a blend tool. Then I say to what, go to what, fit blend to curve. Yeah, to simply fit to the curve. Yeah, to fit to the curve. Then I go on and on. And to fit to the curve. So I'm going to rotate the curve, let's say to the roundness. Yeah, to the lines of the curve. Okay, so I increase my step to 50. Okay, 50. Okay, okay. So let's see. I want to manipulate my curve. So I'm going to manipulate that side. So I manipulate my curve. Manipulate my curve. So I don't want any outline in my curve. And as well, you can see anything that is what is in my curve. Yeah, that's one thing about what the shape is used mainly for. The drawing, if you want to do drawing, yeah, drawing, maybe you're painting a face, a cartoon, you're painting a face of what a character, you can use it to paint. If you want to paint a fruit, so as we did here, the same thing that you can use to see. So that is basically on what's on the blend tool. So the blend tool can also what do a 3D. Let's see a 3D on with a blend tool. That is what's so good. Let's see. I've drawn the text. Then I need to have another text. There's supposed to be two objects so that you can get whatever you want. So this one will be up, this one will be on top of the other. So I'll just come to my arrange, then bring it forward. Yeah. Then the one down may be lighter. Okay, let's say this color. Let's say this color. So I'm bringing the two together. I can make this one, the front one, very huge, and the back one will be very thin. Okay, so this one I need it, or just select my blend tool, then push. Sorry, I'm supposed to pull from the back one toward to the top one. I want the so something like this in form of what, a 3D, the 3D that I want. Yeah, 3D with colors. That's it, making 3D with colors. So when I come here, I can enter in the figures. Let's see, 40. Enter. So for enter, it's gone. So if I want to do any manipulation, I can do my manipulations. Let's say come here to 60. Then to change my color. Okay, so I want to change all the place color. Okay, change my color. Okay, so I'm getting it in the form of a 3D. I want to put it now, let's say outline. Okay, so let's say outline on it. Yeah, because I have my outline on it. No outline. Okay, so this is basically my form of what, a 3D on. Yeah, let's change this color and see this color. So I want it to change on what, on the back. I can change on the back one. So on the back one, change it on the back one. See, and the front one will be darker. Okay, so I'll change it on the front one. One face and all. So depending on whatever you want to do, that's what you can do, a 3D something with your colors by using what the blend. If you want to realize, you can use 3D to realize. Maybe you want to multiply what a bulletin. You have done a shape and you want to do bulletin on it. Let's zoom in and let's see. Okay, let's delete this one. Let's delete the 3D. This one is 3D off. This one off. Okay, you want to do a bulletin. Okay, you want the bulletin to be in style, so it's the first one is clean. Okay, so let's change the color of this one, the bulletin. Then I'll reduce this one. So I'll jump command words, drag to the other one. And I'll get my bulletin. I can reduce my spacing. So spacing. Okay, come to my position. Then spacing a little. So depending on whatever you're doing and you know how to do it, then basically how to use what the blend. Then let's go to the contour tool. The contour basically gives you what's an outer. When you are doing something, you draw something outside, it gives you what's a contour. So let's see, contour is coming something what's outside. So let's see, I'm drawing a contour, this outside. So 2 contours. Let's say I want 15 contours, which also asks what you're using the blend to. 15 contours, that's something what's outside, the inner contour and outside contour. Solving the shape, the same thing, positioning as the blend tube. So it's always in a similar form, but it all has its own function. Yeah, that is basically on the contour. Yeah, and let's move on finally to the mold. That's the mold. After the mold, we do 3D as a separate tutorials. 3D as a spreadsheet tutorials. Let's see the mode. Okay, let's check the mode. The mode basically on the text is very good when you envelope it on the text. Mode is the same as what envelope in let's say color draw. It's envelope in the color draw. Let's see. Okay, so we have different type of modes. The first one, and that is the tumbling merge mesh and mode remove, detach mode, undo content, copy mode and paste. Then the default envelope. So when I click on this one, okay, that's the default. The mode has been applied. The mode has been applied. Unless I click on the mode, then I can see the handler. If I don't come and stand anywhere to click on it, I'll not see the handler. So if I want to drag, I'll stand on this handler and I'll drag to what, take a shape. Sorry, to take shape. Yeah, take shape. Okay, this is the mode. How to what manipulate it to see what you want. Okay, take shape. So maybe you want to play around with your font, you want to play around with your text. If you don't want it, just select on it and say remove. Okay, let's go to the other ones. We have the other options. Now click on this one to work. Say inform percent code to work. This one is to work. This one is to work. Yeah. Okay, you can copy and even paste, detach. Okay, you can detach the paste and also let's check on the perspective aspect. That's the perspective mode. Let's say perspective. Let's say perspective, and perspective has different options. So I can, when I stand on, I've done it with perspective. The first one we did was the envelope. That's the envelope type. This one is talking about the perspective default. So when you come and move it, is what in the form perspective. Yeah, in the form perspective. So I can come and stand here, any of the left or right perspective, and then the floor and the ceiling perspective. I can come on the left perspective and I click. You see the center point. I can what, increase or reduce the center point. This is how it will give me. Okay, increase it. Yeah, I'll get my perspective. So the work you are doing and how you what you want it. So let's say we are adding perspective and the blend to. Okay, perspective. I'll move this one. There's a duplicate. Yeah, this one. Okay, I'll give this one a different color. Another thing is what, and if you want to change anything, let's right click. So you say open. Okay, so I want to change the color of this one to deep blue. Then I'm going to save. It will save. So this one I'll put it in front. So bring to front. I want to change this color to what, lighter. So I'll right click on it and say that open mode. Then I select it. Then I change it to light color. Okay. So I want to use my blend 2 on it. So I will use my blend 2. So now I have what I have blend. If I move it, I want this one down. Okay. This one down. I can increase my steps. Okay, so increase. So you are the designer, so you know what you're doing, and the step, the amount of step that will be of good help to you. So this is basically how we use perspective and as the mode perspective to with the blend to make what a sample 3D text in this one, and the blend what to work it out. So the tools are all there that you have to manipulate to get what you want. Xara Designer is very good, and Xara Designer is a great tool for you to use. I don't know whether you understood the mode. The mode 2 is basically moding what something, especially I use it on font a lot, on text a lot. Yeah, you can use it on text a lot depending on whatever you are doing. Yeah, okay, so let's play around on an object and see. This is an object. Yeah, but basically object there, you can manipulate an object whatever you want. So me, I don't use it basically on the object, but especially on font and the typeface. I use it on typeface a lot on typeface. Yeah, so that's it. Good for text. Let's come back on it again. Let's see something like yeah, like I okay, it was a type of text alignment that I choose. That's what, sorry. Okay, okay, so let's like, and I like, we want it to be on the floor. So floor, like this will be on the floor, and we want to change the light. We want to make it light. So I'll just stand on it and right click and come to light. It will open what a new document. You see, Untitled 32, Untitled, that is edit inside Untitled 32. So I'll come and stand on it and say that If I want to change the font, I'll highlight on it and say, I'll come to my font and say, let's see this one. Let's see this one. Yeah, this font is okay. Now I'll come to save. So it will move me back to my own title. Then I have my design. I want to change the color too. And unless I go to my script, then I come to change color. Then I can change my color. If I want to add my gradients, then I can add my gradients too. Okay. So I'm changing the color. Okay. So this basically, I've changed color, I've changed everything in it. So anything that you want, you can use. I can cast shadow on it. So these are we've learned the tools one by one, and now we are using the tools to work on something good. Okay. Yeah. This is a like. Yeah. It was like, and I change it to like. I can change it, manipulate it. Okay. Let's come a little here. Can stretch it here. Okay. Depending on what you want, that is what you do. That is why in designing, there is no one way. Yeah, if I can teach you how to use the tool, then you yourself know what to do. Okay. And also, that is what another form is what you are using the paste aspect, like the paste perspective. You can paste perspective on this one. Okay, you select the object. Let's say I click this one, then I come to paste. Okay, I click here. Then I come to my paste. Then paste. It should be as the old type how I did the first one. If I wanted to know what's in the envelope that I did know, if it's copied and what you want to detach, you can detach from it. If you want to remove. That's all. That is that for you. Basically, the Xara Designer on what we have done is the blend, the contour, and the Mould tool. These are the great tools that we have done. Firstly, we did on our previous lesson the bevel tool, then the contour, then the blend tool, the contour, and the Mould tool. These are useful tools you can use in any time that you want to design. Don't limit yourself. Just understand the tools where and when you want to use it, then use it very carefully. Alright. Like us, subscribe, and follow to our page. We know that you find this lesson very attractive and very good for you to master graphic design. So just stay tuned on the basis of the Xara Designer, understand the tools, then you go to the mastery of Xara Designer. Thank you. Subscribe.